What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another Ranger Talk video. And today I'll be talking with a special guest. The mighty Severed Angel are here to talk with me. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you for the word mighty before our name. That's awesome.
Of course, of course. So would you guys mind introducing yourselves and letting folks know what your role in the band and whatnot?
I'm Alex Rapetti. I'm the lead vocalist and backup guitarist. And there's another guy joining right now.
Oh,
And
sweet.
um, and I'm also the mixer and producer for the band as well.
My
Awesome.
name's, sorry, say that again.
Oh, I was just saying awesome. Yeah.
All right, cool. My name's Lou Mavs. I'm the lead guitarist in the band, and I'm also a co-songwriter with Alex and all the other guys in the band that are not here.
Sweet. So exciting times for the band, right? I mean, there's a new album on the horizon, really right around the corner, May 3rd. But before we talk about all that good stuff, I'd like to go back in time just a touch and ask you guys, how did the band originally form up? How did the idea come to be and how did everyone come together, to create Severed Angel?
Want me to take this one, Alex?
Go ahead, Lou.
Cool. So the idea for Severed Angel really is the brainchild of our drummer Wayne Noon. I'm Wayne's co-host on the podcast Rat Salad Review. I've also been friends with Wayne since 2002. At the time, he was in a band called Phoenix Rain, which was more of like your traditional power metal type stuff. And at the time, I was playing in like metalcore bands that were trying to pass off as emo bands, but I wasn't into the emo thing at all. So I just kind of stopped playing. But Wayne and I kept in touch, and he started podcasting first, and then I jumped on board about a year later, and he liked mine well enough that he wanted me to join his network, Rat Style Review, which I did. And back in October 2020, we lost one of my personal guitar heroes, Eddie Van Halen, and we came up with the idea, to possibly do a cover song as a tribute to Eddie. So we got George, who at the time was in Timeless Haunt, but is now in Severed Angel, on bass, and our friend Ralph Vieira from the Rock and Metal Combat podcast and Almost Human YouTube page to do the vocals for it. And we did a cover of Atomic Punk, which did well. Over the course of the year, we started doing more covers from bands like Kiss and Stratovarius and Iron Maiden. And what really set off the formation of Severed Angel was we got invited to do a cover song for a Def Leppard tribute. So we ended up doing On Through the Night, which for the casual fans is a bit of a deep cut. But for hardcore fans of the band who remember when Pete Wills was still the guitar player, it was a personal favorite of both mine and Wayne's. So once again, we had George on board. So it was the three of us, and Alex did the mixing and mastering for it. And our friend John Witten from Shockwire, who's based in Peterborough, Ontario, did the vocals and rhythm guitar. Um, People said it was the best song on the tribute. And then Wayne got the idea in his head, why don't we do an original band? And the funny thing is, Alex and I were the last two to join, Alex being the last one to join. Wayne heard his vocals on a single that he released. Actually, it was a couple of singles, Alex, right? It was your project SCAR and your other one, correct?
Uh, Technically, the second one had come out by then, but he was asking me to join before then. So it was just my solo single.
Which is available for streaming for anyone to hear it. Alex is an amazing arranger. And, I mean, if you hear the music, you hear his production. So I was kind of reluctant to join as well, but Wayne said, well, do you have anything that you want to contribute? And I said, well, I don't want to contribute anything, but here's a song that I wrote 12 years ago called Dogs of War. And I said, you think you could do something with it? And he said, yes, we can. And the next thing I know, everybody started recording their parts. Alex did his vocals, George did his bass, and that's George Dimitri, our bassist, who's joining the chat right now. Hey, George.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yep.
can. And
Stupid fucking camera.
hey, language. and and Mark Muchnick on keyboards and me on guitar, and we did Dogs of War. Severed Angel was officially born, and we wrote and recorded the first album in 3 months.
Wow.
Like it's like water flowing from a spout. Like it didn't stop. And to give it a nice little bow, we decided, hey, why don't we throw a cover song? And we decided Square Hammer from Ghost, because that's a band all metal fans out there love, right? Ghost.
Right.
We made it work, and that's really how it was born.
Awesome, really cool.
And my voice just cracked right now. Oh God.
No worries, it happens. It happens. But I mean, it still happens to me to this day. Also, I feel like I'm perpetually gonna just be going through puberty, right?
Dear God, I hope I'm past that.
Right. But yeah, so cool. It seemed like there was a lot of buildup, really, but then once it all got going, it just really got going, and everything just kind of came together and worked. So that's just really, really cool. Was there ever an initial idea for the style, or was it just kind of everyone getting together, throwing ideas out, and kind of just going from there? Or was it like, this is what we want it to be, so we're going to make it be this?
Alex, you take this one.
Yeah, I don't think we ever really discussed a style. I mean, we all knew it was going to be some form of metal, but I think that's about it. Other than that, I think Severed Angel is and will continue to just be a melting pot of all of our ideas and styles. We don't try to stick to one genre, which, I mean, I know on your reaction video, you kind of noticed that even in one song.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just kind of our thing.
Really neat. And yeah, speaking of Tyrant on the Throne, which is the single in question here, which is from the upcoming album, May 3rd, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a really cool song, and it very much makes clear, like, there's multiple things going on here. It's not just one thing through and through. And I found that to be very interesting. And so are multiple people involved in the songwriting for individual songs, or how did that song come to be? Was it a really collaboration, or was it one person kind of just writing that bad boy?
It kind of varies song to song. Some of the songs, well, you know what? Let me answer this song in particular first. So, Tyrant on the Throne was, I want to say that was either the first or second track we wrote for album 2. Is that right, Lou?
It was the first song that we wrote after the first album was done, after all the
Right.
singles were written.
Right. So yeah, so that's the first one we wrote for album 2. That one in particular, I wrote either all or maybe at least the majority of the rhythm guitar for that song. So it was kind of structured out, but there were no vocals yet. And I just sent it to the guys and I was like, hey, can we do something with this? Because on the first album, I only had contributed mostly vocals. I had some lead guitar playing, but I wasn't writing as much as like Lou or Mark, which really was mostly because I just didn't want to step on the style that was sort of forming. It seemed like they had a thing going, and I was like, I don't know. I'm not going to try and change what's already sounding cool. So, but for album 2, I sent that in, and they liked it a lot. Wayne added his drums. George added his own bass. Mark added all of his own keys. I think in the order that I'm saying. And then I added on my vocals. And then Lou layered on some incredibly awesome lead guitar work, which was an interesting shift for us because I think that might be the first track we did that for. An interesting thing for both of us on Severed Angel was that we both we became a guitar duo, but that wasn't originally the intention.
Hmm.
I joined the band as a singer.
Hmm.
And like here and there, I would just sprinkle an extra guitar lead on or like add a harmony to something he played. But I think it's kind of evolved into like, we look at it as a guitar duo at this point. And for that matter, Lou has kind of jumped in doing a lot of scream vocals as well. So like we both kind of, you know, share the spotlight of the guitar and the vocal in different ways from time to time.
I made it known. I said I'm not a guitar hog, and I can't stand guitar hogs. It's like not everyone's meant to be Yngwie Malmsteen or Michael Schenker. Okay, so if you're not those guys, take a back seat and shut up and just enjoy the ride. And my whole thing is, all of our bandmates, we're all equal. And George, I would say, the first album probably wrote one of the best songs, which was Wide Awake in Screamland. I love it because it kind of brings that 80s sleaze feel into Severed Angel, which adds another dimension
Right.
on top of that. And by the way, I got to put over his original band from the 80s, Taz, is releasing their album on Heaven and Hell Records this month called Razor's Edge. Go check it out. I helped do the lyric videos for him. All the songs are great.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely have to check that out without a doubt. But yeah, that's so cool that even you guys incorporate some sleep. Like nothing is off the table as far as the songs go.
Well,
At
maybe
least
polka.
metal wise,
Okay.
right?
metal polka. I do have an accordion, Lou.
Oh, there we go. Hey,
Squeeze
there
it
we
on
go.
your head. Hey,
Let's do
squeeze it on your
Yeah.
That would be awesome. But yeah, so cool to hear how that song came to be and how everyone is just the synergy within the band isn't like someone trying to take the spotlight or anything like that. It's just
Not at
really
all.
all working together to create something everyone is proud of and has a part in.
My biggest question for that song was what could I do to add to it? Because I thought Alex did such a wonderful job on rhythm guitars. So then I kind of just randomly was listening to Dream Theater. I know I'm wearing the shirt, but this was a random occasion. And the song I Walk Beside You came on, and I heard what John Petrucci was doing during the choruses, and I was like, oh, I could do something like that. And I sent it to Alex. I was like, what do you think? He said, perfect. So I was like, okay, good. I got the, it worked. We're the biggest believers of throwing the stuff into the proverbial blender, throwing it against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
And so far there's not a song that we've released or worked on that I don't like. I think we all feel that way.
Awesome. Well, that's important. I mean, you're not catering to anybody other than yourselves. You're making sure first and foremost you're enjoying what you're doing and releasing. And then if other people like it, awesome. If they don't, oh well, because you like it and you're proud of what you've done. So I think that's very important instead of trying to craft something for somebody else or for the masses without you having that investment. So that's really refreshing. Especially in these days, I feel like there's a lot of that where it's just, let's just keep churning out what is working, whether we like it or not. And I feel like you could burn out doing something like that, or not being true to yourself. So really, really cool to hear that philosophy that you guys have. The video for Tyrant on the Throne was really, really cool. Animated, you don't see that too often. And it just went with the song really well. How did that come to be? That doesn't seem like that's really easy to do, to create an animated video.
Well, it was a friend of Wayne's who goes by the name Mandir. His real name is Dusty. He's the bassist in the band Frostbite BC. I guess the best way to explain that is it's what you combine. It's what you get if you combine Santa Claus, Satan, and weed into a band. It's probably the best way I could explain it. And he does a lot of animated stuff for Frostbite BC. So Wayne said, "Hey, would you do something for this?" And he said, "Sure." And I got to admit, the video came out great. but my God, and he knows how we felt about this. Those first drafts were rough. They were rough.
Whoa.
Yeah.
George, you
So in
want
the
to add to that?
beginning, you didn't have
They
the
were
utmost
pretty
faith, huh?
they were a little concerning at first. It's like, dude, I don't know about this. But he fixed it and saw what he listened to what we had to say, and it turned out great.
Yeah, I love it. Just the style, the battling, and I even mentioned in
Yeah.
the reaction, I love the dual crossbows,
Yeah.
which was you, right, Lou?
No,
I think it was Wayne.
I still have
Oh,
my
that was
hair.
George. Oh, okay.
No, that was Wayne, I think, with the crossbows.
That was Wayne.
That was Wayne.
Okay.
Alex had the flaming sword.
My one
Awesome.
complaint is that George and I are the two Greek guys in the band. So, you hear Greek, you think the movie 300, Sparta, and we're the two guys in the back. We're not in the front. We're not doing nothing.
We should have been the phalanx of that.
Yeah, right.
So it's historically inaccurate.
Correct.
Unreal. Let's send it back to the cutting room floor, man. Have them do it again.
Absolutely.
Cool. But yeah, that was really neat. Are there going to be any other singles released for the second album, and any cool animations in the future, or big budget live action battle scenes?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, if you can pay for it, sure.
Yeah, I see some of these guys, these bands that are on the big labels, man. The production value of those videos is nuts. They're like mini movies, I don't even know how they get that back, to be honest, even with all the sales. But yeah, it's truly something to behold.
Well, we just released the Skyward video a couple of weeks ago, and it's already gotten 400 views. So thank you to everyone who's watched it. We just agreed on the third and final single before the album's release, but I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. I mean, we might just do a lyric video for it. It really depends on time constraints and availability.
Yeah. How do you guys choose what songs to be singles? I mean, that can't be easy, right?
No, it is not easy.
No, our diverse tastes are great when it comes to writing songs. When it comes to picking the songs to release, not so great.
Yeah, because originally we had thought of Never Look Back as the third single. At least Alex and I were under the impression of it, and George as well.
Yes, and George.
Someone in the band who will remain nameless, Wayne, decided against it, and he thought maybe it would have been better to do either Move Through the Dark or a Perfect Disaster as the next single, because he thought it would have been a change of pace from the song Skyward. But I said, I don't know. We all kind of agreed that we're hearing through the grapevine that a lot of people are really digging on the song Never Look Back. And, with Wayne, it's like you really have to convince him to really see your way. But when he saw a recent review we got for the album, I forgot who the person was. I have it saved in my phone. But she gave the album an 8 out of 10 and said that Never Look Back was her favorite song. So Wayne kind of said, all right, we'll just do that then. Like, if people are really liking it, then let's make it available for them. And the one thing that we have going for us on this album that we didn't on the first album is that we actually have radio representation with Munzie Ritchie and Skateboard Marketing, who's trying to get it out to terrestrial radio, college radio, internet radio, and satellite radio. George's big goal, he wants to make it onto Sirius Octane, and I'm trying to make it happen for you, buddy.
That'd be great.
So thank you to Munzie and Skateboard Marketing for doing that. So, I'm sure when they hear Never Look Back, they're going to be like, all right, yeah, keep playing it. So fingers crossed.
Sweet. So, are the singles going to be really representative of what the rest of the album holds? Or will there still be surprises? Or is it like, oh, once you've heard these 3 singles, you've kind of heard what you'll hear on the album? No. Awesome.
No.
There's definitely surprises.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. When the singles can really entice the person, but then there's like extra stuff on the album that really encourages listening to the full album, which is important. Which is that something that you guys are really want folks to do, is to listen to the full album, not just the singles, or because sometimes I feel like the singles are the really good songs, and then you listen to an album, it's like I feel like they kind of just went mediocre for the rest of the album, where all the focus is on the singles, but not the case here, huh?
No, I don't think there's any filler on this album, and we certainly don't write with the intent of, oh, we need 2 more songs to make an album. Let's just throw some crap on. Not at all.
Right. Awesome. What did you all kind of learn, or did you really gain some additional perspective after releasing the first album when you started writing the second album? Or has it kind of just been a constant flow of just creating music, or did you evolve, at all from the first album for creating the second album, a little differently or anything like that?
I'll say yes, definitely. So some of the guys in the band hadn't really, they didn't have much experience recording themselves at home yet. So that was kind of a learning experience for a few of the guys. Um, so by the time we started album 2, everyone made some improvements to their recording setup and did things a little more efficiently or had some better equipment, myself included. I made some upgrades to my vocal recording gear. And so right off the bat, I mean, if you're starting with better recordings, it's going to come out better. So that's already a major shift. Wayne got some new microphones for his drums. I upgraded. I got some analog like compressors and mic pre's and stuff, and et cetera, et cetera. And so that's definitely part of it. We all had more experience working together by then. A lot of album 1, it was really just experimenting. Like it's experiments that worked, but it was experimenting and seeing like, all right, how does this turn out, or how do the guys react if we have a song that sounds like this or this kind of thing. And so I think we had a better feel for each other. And I kind of mentioned this a little bit before, that I felt a little more comfortable contributing song ideas for album 2 as well. Though I think the style, it still sounds very much like Severed Angel going from album 1 to album 2, but it definitely, I think, expanded on the style more. But while expanding, I feel like we honed in a little bit more on our sound for album 2 as well. I know for me as a vocalist, well, actually, I didn't even really talk about this, but before joining Severed Angel, I had only sang lead vocals on 2 songs ever.
Oh, wow.
For that, I'm like complete. I never intended on actually being a lead singer. I've been a bassist and guitarist, for 20 years, toured and everything. I never had any inclinations to do that. I really only released my solo single just because I felt like releasing a song without a band. And so I sang on it because someone had to do it. And luckily, Wayne and the guys liked my voice at the time, even though it was admittedly rough around the edges. Yeah.
Dude, I've
So
heard worse. You're fine. Come on.
Yeah, please. Yes, you have improved, but it's not like you came on board. It was like, oh, geez, okay.
Yeah,
No, not at all.
Dude, you're not Vince Neil of Motley Crue, and I don't give a damn what anyone says. He can't sing.
That's funny. But yeah, so I came in and like it's been like a very much a learning process for myself for singing. Like how can I manipulate my voice to do what the song needs? Can I push my range higher? Which Tyrant on the Throne is definitely an example of that. There's a part in the middle where I go up to like a high F sharp, which on album 1 I couldn't have done that. And production wise as well, aside from just the recording equipment, I think we kind of honed in a bit on like our sonic sound as well. So yeah, I think we evolved a lot from album 1 to 2, whilst remaining to sound like ourselves.
we were all chomping at the bit to release this album. I
Yeah.
mean, we were just like, do we have to wait till May 2024? You know, because we got started on it around what would you say, Halloween or Thanksgiving of 2022? Around that time, we started
Yeah,
working
it
on
was
this
around
album.
November 2022. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Third
and
album's done too.
which was what
And it
was
was
that?
done by
The,
like
the,
January.
the third album's done. Can we release that in June? And we're what, 4 songs into the fourth album, so we
Wow.
write. We
Yeah,
guys
you're just
we hammered
cruising right
out. Yeah,
along.
yeah,
Yeah,
You guys should just release 2 and 3 as like a double album, you know?
yeah. Like Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, right? Yeah,
but better.
yeah.
Wow, that's cool. So, I mean, it seems like you guys really enjoy working together and just writing these songs, and
We
this
do.
band just means a lot to you.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah, I enjoy working with these guys, and we've really come up with some cool stuff. And I'm just psyched to keep writing and recording, putting stuff out, and getting on Octane, Lou.
Trying. Trying.
Right. Well, once you get on Octane, don't stop. Keep going. Just because you
Oh
reach
God,
the
yeah.
top doesn't mean you can't keep going.
Hmm. Absolutely.
That's right. Remember, kids, if you ain't first, you're last.
Right.
I
Wise
hate that
words.
movie.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, wow, crazy to think that three is already done, and 4 is along the way before 2 is even released. So no wonder you guys are just so anxious for this album to drop. May 3rd can't come soon enough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy
So-
with the pre-sales for it. So, we're still telling people, go to severedangel.com. If you haven't ordered your copy yet, you can just buy it from the homepage. If you
Mhm.
already bought a copy, you want a second one, buy a second one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Buy
no
one for all your
limit to
friends.
how many you can buy, right?
Right. Buy one for all your friends and family.
There you go.
It's the best Christmas stocking stuffer for 2024.
Ever.
Get one for Christmas in July, and then get another one for the Christmas in December. I mean, hey.
Exactly.
Give it for Hanukkah as well, Ramadan, do it all. It's okay.
Mother's
Arbor Day.
Day, Father's Day, yeah.
Arbor Day, Boxing Day, Greek
And for all-
Independence Day, Lou.
That's right. And for all the mothers on Mother's Day, call me. No.
You should include like a little note, with your phone number. Call me, in the album insert. That'd be wild.
My wife
But,
wouldn't like that. No.
No. Have you all been able to get together and play any live shows?
No, we have not.
That's the difficult thing.
Mhm.
Modern times make economy and logistics impossible, because 4 of us are based in New York and George is based in Pennsylvania. And, we have to be honest, the live atmosphere does not favor the bands at this point. Out in New York, with the exception of like maybe a couple of venues in Brooklyn, there's really no outlet for original live music, which is a shame because you got a lot of great talent out here on Long Island, and they're either playing to the same people every week, or they're not. They're seeing they're seeing the returns of audience deplete because they're like, no, I'll just check you out at your next show, and gas makes it difficult. They just raised the 25 cents by me. So our attitude is, you know what? Then just gives people something tangible to enjoy. It's okay if you stream it. It's okay if you buy it and listen to it in your car, or listen to it at home. It's this. The music is meant to be listened to and enjoyed, and that's our priority.
Mhm.
I'm not saying we won't do live shows. That would be great somewhere down the line, but things have to shine more in the band's favor, and not just us, but everybody, because it's it's sad. I mean, I remember when I started playing shows back in the day, you know, there was tons of places to play, and people just wanted to go to a show because they wanted to see live music, you know. And now it's not like that anymore. But if you got the creativity, if you got the art that you feel is worthy of being put out, our attitude is put it out.
Yeah. So you think there's just a decreased in willingness for folks to go out and go to a live venue now, unless it's someone like major or like a cover band or something like that?
It seems like it. It seems like it. And of course, it has to be, it makes sense from a business perspective for the clubs too, is that people aren't
Yeah.
going out. They're not going to have smaller original acts, you know, because they're not making any money. They can't stay in business. And that's basically what it's about for everyone.
I remember telling the guys when I went to go see Ghost play at the UBS Arena in Elmont, New York. There was about maybe, and that place holds about 15,000 people. I think I only saw like 7,000 there. Most
Really? That's
people,
surprising.
yeah, most
Yeah,
people
for
went
Ghost,
out
yeah.
to a smaller venue to go check out an Iron Maiden tribute. So I was like,
Wow.
Okay.
the real Maiden is still touring. Ghost is here. Go see them. But
Right. Oh wow. Yeah, it's just times have changed, like you said. That's too bad. I'm sure it would be awesome to play live. Have you guys ever like all been together and like rehearsed or anything, or is it all just kind of been
No,
like
we have.
individual? You have.
Yeah, we have gotten together a couple of times and played our songs, and it was great. We'd love to do it again. And we've talked about it. We're trying to make it happen. The other
Yeah.
thing with us playing live too is we don't want to get out there and half-ass it. We want to make sure we are solid and tight.
Right.
So we need to get together several times to do that because we want to make sure that what we put out there is, you know, it's worth it for everyone. Plus, we need to obviously, you know, represent what we did. I've seen a lot of bands live. You hear their recording and it's great, and you see them live, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
I refuse to do that, and I think the rest of the guys agree with me on that one.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps one day, hopefully. One thing I want to ask about too is the lyrics, you know, in the album and just for the band in general. How do y'all come up with the lyrics? What kind of story are you trying to tell for the new album? Are there multiple stories, or is it all kind of like a one grand story told throughout the album?
So for Skyward, the album, not the song, it's not really a concept album. There's not like a story from A to Z. Um, However, I would say that there's sort of like a theme running through the album, which is just sort of like overcoming obstacles in front of you in any way, shape, or form. So each song is its own kind of miniature story about someone or some people overcoming obstacles.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, and that seems very evident in the single "Tyrant on the Throne." I mean, these dudes go in, they overcome like an entire kingdom, basically, set it
Right.
ablaze and bounce. You know, I just love how they just get back in the boat and off they go, and the place is just in flames. It's not like they took the throne, sat in it, and they're going to rule. No, it just raised this place, and I'm out of here. So
yeah, we
that
were
was
gonna get back to it later after we were done destroying other places. So
Tyrant
Yeah,
Part
right.
2, yeah. Got rid of the tyrant and moved on.
yeah. That's awesome. There's always another tyrant to conquer. So
That's right.
yeah. But no, I love that. And I'm looking super forward to the new album, which is called Skyward, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
and I gotta give some love to George because that was one of his contributions to the album. He said, I wrote this thing on acoustic. You think we could use it? And I heard it. I was like, oh, we could totally do something with this. And, you know, I think it was like an hour later, I said, guys, this is a single. And,
Wow.
Noticing the trend, best songs who wrote.
Right.
I I can play some guitar. I don't claim to be a guitar player, so I'll muddle through ideas and present them to the others to say, this is what I'm trying to do. And luckily, Alex and Lou can, uh, take and decipher what I sent them and turn it into something. So,
Yeah, and by the way, he plays a 7-string bass. So all you
Wow.
6-string bassists, shoo away.
Yeah, it looks almost like a cello back there.
No,
well,
that
there's
is a cello.
that no,
Oh, wow.
that's an upright bass, the big
Oh,
brown
it
thing. In
is.
front of it, the neck right there, one of my 7 strings.
Wow. So you play upright. That's awesome.
Look at
This
that
thing.
beauty.
Wow. Snazzy.
There it
Yeah.
is.
Look at that.
It's a Conklin with custom paint job, of course.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's sharp.
it's like a 7-string guitar. It's just tuned B to E. Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
nifty, very nifty.
It is nifty. That's a good word for it.
I got like
Awesome.
5 of these. I got a fretless one. I got a 36 spreader. Who needs any of this stuff?
36.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, it's a custom shop one.
Gee whiz.
I'll have to dig it out and show you. It's
That's awesome. Yeah, you got quite the arsenal.
yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. How about Lou and Alex? You guys got an arsenal of guitars?
Yeah. Me, I got all my main axes here. I have actually this one. This is a Dean Vendetta 3. This is what I use to record all the rhythm guitar tracks with for Severed Angel. So it's this beauty right here.
Wow.
24 frets neck through. And that Flying V is my new addition. And this is a Kramer that I've modified a little bit, but this guitar here, this is what I call old reliable. It's a Fender Strat, but I put a brass nut in the headstock because I like the tone that it gives. It's got a hip shot detuner on it, so if I want to drop tune, just bring it down.
Wow.
I threw in a kill switch
Fancy.
over here, and I got a Vegatrem VT1 tremolo system on here, and it's better than like the standard tremolo systems that I think that come on Fenders. They could take a lot of abuse, and I do use the tremolo arm a lot when I'm doing solos. So this is very, very helpful. So thank you, George.
Very
So
snazzy.
You like that?
Vegatrem endorse me. Thank you.
Right.
Oh, and I just
Sponsor.
replaced the pickups here. This is a humbucker that I replaced, and this is a stacked single coil, so it's more noiseless than your average single coil pickup.
Wow. Wild.
And that's it.
Yeah, no, that's sick. And Alex, do you have like an array of microphones, like different microphones and all that stuff?
That's
And
fine. I do have
instruments.
some, but yeah, I do have a lot of instruments. But this one right here is what I use for Severed Angel.
Oh,
It's the Slate microphone, which can emulate all of the different high-end microphones. So I do flip between different styles for different songs and such. So I kind of have my whole mic locker right here on one mic.
that's awesome. I didn't even know there was really kind of such a thing to where you can just switch between like the different other microphones and stuff all in one. That's wild.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Tell them the guitar
It's-
you use.
I can't pull it over right now, but
Oh.
yeah, I use the 7-string Majesty June Theater
Nice.
guitar.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. You guys are definitely well equipped, without a
Mhm.
doubt. So when folks are listening to your music, what do you really hope that they leave with? What do you really want to leave folks with when they're listening to the songs, and especially with the new album? What do you want like the takeaway to be when folks finally are able to listen to it?
I think really we just want them to be entertained.
Yeah.
We're not really like looking for any particular narrative or anything. Just like here's some songs we like, and we hope you like them too.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah,
Pretty
that
much,
works.
yeah.
Yeah, not trying to set the world ablaze with the grand philosophical ideas that leave people pondering, just them enjoying the music and having a good time.
Well, I think there's three. Where to get philosophical at all, I would say the only three things that we're about are self-awareness, self-improvement, and self-empowerment. You know, we hate seeing good people get blackpilled by the bullshit of the world.
Sure.
And we're just like, you can rise above it. Just, go on and live your life. And I think that the songs on the album reflect that. I mean, from the opening song, From the Inside, to Live Your Imagination, to the end of the album, Sit a Potty, it's all about just saying, it's all about people we just want them to recognize their self-worth and self-value and go out and be the best version of yourself, contribute to society a little bit, and in the process, just don't be a dickhead. That's really it.
Well said.
You heard it here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Public service message from Lou.
That's awesome. Yeah, really exciting. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to mention or talk about with the new album, or just the band in general, and share with folks?
Anybody?
Well, first of all, Ranger, we thank you for the positive review you gave of Tyrant on the Throne.
Mhm.
And it was because of you that Alex and I decided to throw the cover of Go-Go Power Rangers on our YouTube page, because we had done that for the Generation S podcast. I'm friends with the guy who hosts it, Lewis, and he was like, look, I don't want to get sued by Saban Entertainment, and
Right.
you think you could do a cover of the Power Rangers theme? And I'm like, yeah, we could do that. So, and then he said, you think you could do the ECW theme? I'm like, the old one from like 97? Because he was doing a retrospective. He does Power Rangers and ECW type stuff. Like,
Wow.
Again, Generation S is anything from like the 90s, but now they changed their name to the Backwards Compatible Podcast. So it's all about nostalgia.
Yeah.
So we were just like, okay, Alex and I could take something from the past and make it refreshing. So, it was thanks to you that we released it. And it's gotten as many views as Skyward. Guys, watch the Skyward video. Then we get money. Okay. So keep watching that.
Right. Awesome. That's so cool, man, to hear. And yeah, I think it comes as no surprise that Power Metal Ranger is a big fan of the Power Rangers.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, specifically the Mighty Morphin era, the dinosaurs and spacefaring ninjas and samurai. No, Mighty Morphin is where it's at. But
so the original five with Zach and
yeah, absolutely.
Tommy and all of them. Gotcha.
Yeah, and Jason, Green Ranger turned White Ranger, all that good stuff. Kimberly. That's the best, man.
I'm dating myself, but when I first saw that, I'm like, oh, it's like live action Voltron. I could get behind this.
But no, that's so cool that you told me that you guys did a cover of the Rangers theme, and then you dropped it on YouTube, and I checked it out. So cool.
Thank you.
But again,
Thank
folks,
you.
Don't watch that. Go watch Skyward.
Well, watch that, but give Skyward double watches if you could do that.
There you go. For every time that you watch Power Rangers cover, watch Skyward, double that. Yeah,
exactly. And listen, if anybody wants to check out more about the band, go to severedangel.com. It links to our Spotify, our YouTube, our Apple Music, our Bandcamp, our social media. We're everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And we're just really grateful that people have been giving the band and the first album and the new album love and support. We're just going to continue on this upward trajectory of providing good art that pleases ourselves first, but we hope it pleases you just as well.
Very cool. Yeah, and just thank you guys so much for taking the time to join me and chat about the band and the album and all that stuff. I am truly honored, and I just really am grateful for you guys to be here and talk with me.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
The pleasure is all mine. And folks, I'm going to put in the description on this video, I'm going to put links to everything Severed Angel, the website, and the YouTube channel, and the social media, all that good stuff, so you can follow the band, keep up with them, because there's no sign of stopping for these guys from what they've told me. So there's a lot more material on the way. So now is a really great time, I think, to start following them and keep up with all of that good stuff. So the description below, all things Severed Angel, including links to the singles, all of that stuff. So go have a ball, follow them, check out their singles and all that good stuff. And look forward to the new album, Skyward, coming out May 3rd. So really right around the corner. And thank you all so very much for watching this video. And thank you, gentlemen, one more time for chatting with me. I'll catch you folks and everyone next time. Ranger, out.